I just spent the past hour of my life jumping up and down non-stop with no breaks and no pauses to raise money for TeamSeas. Here's how it happened.
Ready and go. All right, how's it going? I'm Jim Tiger, and I'm jumping up and down for an hour straight. And I got this idea because I am currently in quarantine in a hotel, and basically I was like, wow, I can't exercise, I can't like go outside, I can't do anything. So I was like, man, what am I gonna do? Well, apparently I'm gonna jump up and down for an hour straight. And that's a good idea for some reason. So definitely gonna get my exercise in, you know, definitely gonna get some form down or whatever, but I'll put on the TV, be a little something to look at over there, some like bad American drama. But anyway, my ankles hurt a little already. I would put on shoes for stability, but the issue is that I'm in a hotel, like I said, so I don't really want to cause problems for the people on the floor underneath me, who's already probably getting a bit of like a, you know, bang, bang. But it's soft. I'm jumping softly. I'm making sure I'm jumping softly for their sake. I brought some water bottles and a book so I can read, stare out the window. It's not much different than normal quarantine, but I'm jumping, and I started a timer. So let's see how much time I've gotten down already. Just a bit over a minute. Wow, I'll try talking for a bit until I get bored of that. So how you doing? I'm probably gonna get pretty tired. I feel like there's a lot of random challenges out there, you know? People are like, oh, I said the word Mario 72,000 times or something like that. But there's not many endurance ones, which might make sense because I feel like, well, I don't know. To be honest, I don't even really know what's out there or isn't. So I try to get the camera angle, like a half zoom, so you can see my face and my feet. You can tell that I'm really jumping. This isn't a lie. My feet are leaving the ground. I can feel my like calves already getting a little tired. Not tired, just tight. I feel weird, so I might have to change my jump form a little bit. Alternate a little bit. Yeah. Sorry, I'm pulling my pants like up or down or something. It makes sense. I'm jumping a lot. I was like, beforehand I tied these super tight. I have a water bottle right here. So I planned, you know, I planned this one. Yeah, I was like, what can I do? Because I'm like, okay, so I'll just talk for a bit. I just moved to Taiwan for a whole year. I studied Chinese, Mandarin Chinese a little bit in high school, and more in college. It was a minor in college. So, you know, 在大学我学中文，you know， 现在我要搬去台湾，因为我想练习我的中文，一面教英文。And what I basically just said is, in college I studied Chinese, and now I moved to Taiwan, so I can at the same time practice my Chinese and teach English, and that's what I'm doing. So it's pretty cool. I mean, I think so. I'll be here for a year teaching English. That's like what I'm here for, on like a Fulbright scholarship thing. And apparently also to jump in hotel rooms. But yeah, so that's like why I'm here, what I'll be getting, you know, how I got sponsored to be here for my visa, what I'm gonna be doing while I'm here, but also just exploring and having a good time, you know. It's a little island situation, so it's like I have enough time to kind of explore the whole island, more or less, I hope. And like the whole time out here, I'll probably make a video about this in some form. There's this big, giant Buddhist temple at the foothills, at the foot of this hill. And it looks so cool, and I just want to go to it, but I'm stuck in quarantine. The second I'm out of here, I'm going straight over there. So that is my immediate plan. This is not even where I'm gonna be living, but it's where I'm quarantining, so. And apparently, it's like me, buildings, some trees, a little river, like a little river walk. Go over that river, go a little farther, giant Buddhist temple, big hill, and I would honestly cut it in, but I don't want to cut away to make you think that I stopped jumping, because I didn't. So now I can put it in the corner. Oh, look at that! Buddhist temple. Make the image bounce. Whee! And beyond the hill is the ocean. So there's the Pacific. If you don't know where Taiwan is, it's in the Pacific Ocean, off the coast of China, south of like Japan, you know, north of Australia, I guess, quite a bit. Yeah, the good news is I have ADHD and I love talking, so it probably won't be that hard to fill the void here. Also, since this channel is a new project, I got, you know, any information is new information, more or less. So, yeah, it's kind of crazy the ocean's right over there, considering I can't even literally see it at all. It's just blocked from my view. Like, I was Google Maps, I'm like, where am I? I was like, I saw the hill, because I know there's big mountains around, and I was like, that can't be the mountain. I looked, it's not. The mountains are to the east, that hill is to the west. Oh, but you didn't see that one coming. Oh, getting fancy. Anyway, I hope I like jacked calves after this. I'm like, man, I'm not getting enough exercise in. And then all of a sudden, I closed the window. I left the window shades open for the view and the light, but turned the AC down because I knew I would be getting hot. And I am a little bit. The sweat will come. I'm sure the sweat will come. I'll finish this. Thankfully, it's a black shirt. For the white shirt, be like, ooh, wet t-shirt contest. Doing a lot of biking here. I'm obviously American from my appearance and, more importantly, accent and language. Yeah, just hanging out. Not trying to think about this. You know what's funny? Actually, I don't see how much time I have. Bang, still jumping. Okay. Show me. It's been 7 minutes. That's not bad. You know, you're watching this with a timestamp. You're like, 7 minutes, duh. But all I see is hotel room. Anyway, the great Muhammad Ali once said that. I watched like half, not even the full thing, half of a Muhammad Ali documentary last year because I think he's really cool and interesting. And he was like people like, you know, watching boxing, they're like, oh, you know, that's not hard, or I don't know, you're not that in good of shape, whatever. And he's like, you get up tomorrow and jump around for 5 straight minutes, because the whole time they're just doing this the entire time, and in addition to like punching each other and running out of the way and doing whatever. So he's like, you jump around for 5 minutes tomorrow and tell me how tired you get, like. And I've never done it, obviously. I've always been like, yeah, interesting quote. He's probably right, because they're, you know, you're like, oh, they're just in the ring, but he's like doing like this the whole time. Well, it's been like 7.5 minutes now, so I guess I could say you were right, Muhammad Ali. I mean, this is not the worst, but I got 50-something more minutes left, so I'll reserve that for later. I'm gonna be like, yeah, this is so easy. Whoops. What do we got? Look, you see that? Those are Chinese characters. Traditional, because I'm in Taiwan. The more complicated characters. So you can see the fun foreign TV that's actually just playing bad American TV. I figured it was better than the blank space. Maybe I'll put something over here, like a picture of a dragon. Give me a picture of a dragon. Woo! Anyway. I can see that little monastery situation. My core is starting to feel it slightly. I did do a little bit of core exercise earlier, and like a tiny one yesterday or 2 days ago, so maybe that's why. But it was funny, actually. Last summer I was playing a tennis tournament, and I went to the gym with my friends the day beforehand, and I was like, it was one of the first times I worked out in like a really long time, and they're good at the gym, if that makes any sense. I'm starting to feel it right here. When you get like tired and winded, you feel it like right there. I remember, quick intermission, I was in elementary school running laps around the gym, and the gym teacher was like, I was like, I got really tired, and I started getting sharp pain there, and I was like, dude, what is that? And I kind of went to him, like, am I okay? And he was like, no, it's normal, that can happen when you like exercise hard. And I feel like I haven't experienced that in a long time. It's kind of weird that I'm getting that specific sensation right now. Anyway, tennis tournament last summer. I went to the gym with my friends like the day, 2 days beforehand, even maybe, and like they're like, "Do you want to go this day?" And I was like, I got the tournament tomorrow. Like, no. They're like, "Okay, yeah, actually, good point. You probably shouldn't." And during the tournament, I was sore, because like when you're at the gym, if you've ever gone, and if you've gone after a long time or for the first time ever, and you're with people who really know what they're doing, you're like targeting a very specific muscles. Kind of like what I'm doing now in a way. I mean, after I'm done with this, my calves and this, I guess, and whatever else I'll find out, my feet will probably hurt and be really sore. But yeah, as it stands, you're doing like, he's like, "Oh, let's do a bi workout." And like your biceps. This is tricep. This is bicep. And I'm like, it's like very specific, and you're like hitting like just those, And it's like, wow, yeah, that is so. As opposed to if you're lifting a big object, just how you would lift it, or if you don't really know what you're doing, you're probably getting a general workout in for sure, but you're not isolating the muscle. They're like showing all its form. I can't really demonstrate for obvious reasons, but they're like, bend down and stick your rear out and grab this and, like make this motion with your arm, and yeah, that whole thing. So yeah, it gets very specific, and like when you're doing it right, you're doing it right. That's because they'll be like, you can feel it when you're doing it right. And yeah, they're correct. So anyway, I wonder when I should get some water. I mean, I'm obviously fine right now. I mean, I'd be fine the whole time. I just figured good to have it on standby. I brought like 4 bottles of water with me though, just in case. I don't know, over prepare. No reason to not. Actually, when I got here, I Googled like, first thing you should do in a foreign place or and anywhere in America or wherever, look up like, is the water safe to drink here? And the answer was like, no. So I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? I can't leave the room, so I can't buy water. I can't drink the water. Am I just gonna not have water? And then I noticed this big box on the floor that I had seen, but I like opened it up and I was like, oh, thank god, it's water. And I ran out. So I called the front desk. I'm like, do you have more water? And they charged me, but it was like super cheap. Honestly, it was like $3 for like a big case. So water. I got water now. Look at that. I can't hold anything to the camera right now. So unsteady. Can I not move my head while I jump? That's really hard. I'm trying to like focus down. I don't know what's happening here. Here's some art. I'm blocking the art. Art. Appreciate the art. Have you watched played Portal 2? Where he's like, you wake up, they're trying to teach you how to do things, and they're like, look at the art. Appreciate the art. It's funny. It's cool. It's a good time. The sun sets pretty early here, which is strange, but it's like, I almost said gets up. It rises earlier too. I guess it's farther south than I think, because like, I've been to Montana quite a bit, which if you know your US geography, it's pretty far north in the United States. Actually, it's like the northernmost state. It's one of them. And a place really close to the border by like Glacier National Park. I was there for the 4th of July, and it was like getting close to fireworks time. Like it's like 10 p.m., like almost 11, and it's like still light out, and I'm like, what are we doing? But you're just that far north, because it's like, at the poles you get the midnight sun, like year-round, or not year-round, day-round for like months of sunlight, and then in the opposite season, darkness. Switched at the poles. So like Iceland, I've been to a couple times. Beautiful place. And sorry, burp. I probably will continue to burp. Iceland gets sun all the time in the summer and darkness all the time in the winter. Like there's this old video I've seen where this guy's like, it's like pitch black, and he's like sending this video to his friend or something. He's like, oh, you think it's bad there? Like, oh, it is 2 p.m. and I cannot see anything. And it's like barely him and like pitch black, and he's like, do you want to meet my dog? And just pans over to like nothing, and you just hear like Ruff, and he's like, oh, isn't he cute? Oh wait, you can't see him. Like it's really funny. He's like, hey Dave, you think you have it bad? Good times. I feel like I'm doing like a stand-up routine that I didn't like prepare for. They're just like, just go on stage. Actually, funny story about that. I was in high school. I'm getting some sweat now. I was in high school, and Actually, full circle, I was in a Chinese class. I was one of the better kids in the class for some reason, even though, I don't know, I didn't feel like I was. But she had me, the reason I bring that up is because she had me and this other girl be like the hosts of this event. Maybe because I'm also good at talking. And this one thing happened where we had like a mini play that we put on, and I played the old man. So I'm like hobbling around, I'm like, ah, rah, but like I was supposed to wear a beard, but they didn't have the beard, so I just didn't. And then this lady comes to be like a Peking opera like performer, something really cool. And she shows up super late though, and she hands me the beard frantically, and she doesn't speak any English, and I'm like, no, no, no. And then the Spanish teacher was helping me out. I was like, just put it on. I was like, okay. So I go out to put on, I put it on. We go out to announce the next show. The girl comes out. She's like, yeah, next is this. And I'm over there like, you know, just like a little bit. All the kids are laughing because it was like at the elementary school, but I was in high school. And then she darts backstage because she's, you know, whatever. And I am like still like hobbling backstage. I've never had to jump and imitate hobbling. It's really weird. Howl backstage, and they're like, she's not ready, she's not ready. And I was like, I look at them wide-eyed, I'm like, what do you want me to do there? Just stall. And I was like, what do you mean? It was like something out of a movie, totally. Like about a boy or something like that. And so I turn around and I'm like, and then I just, for the next 40 minutes, like the same amount of time I'm gonna do this jumping thing, I start a stand-up routine with the beard. Like that's why I'm trapped. It was like the perfect storm. I'm trapped in this old man character. Could either ditch the beard and just forget about it, or like I've already started, but I thought it was gonna be like 30 seconds. And so I'm up there, I'm hobbling around the stage, cracking jokes at everybody, like literally running my own stand-up show that I did not prepare for in front of this entire school. And she's like just still getting ready, and I'm just like, what do you want from me? So probably one of the weirdest and coolest things I've ever done. Kind of like that, no. Because it was just like, it was so surprising that I actually did it like well enough. I mean, like, because it was like a disaster. It was like, okay, like what, the kids are gonna sit here for the next 40 minutes, we're just gonna skip her, like I don't know. So I stalled, and they thought it was a riot, and like it was where I went to elementary school, so some of the teachers I knew thought it was really funny, and the principal was having a good time. So like I don't know, it was nice, but super weird, super funny. I forget why I brought that up, but yeah, good story, good times. Might get some water. Oh, how's this gonna work? Not that bad. Dismount could have used some work. It's hard to like put things down without just dropping. I have to like bounce, shake, take some stutter step bounces. What else we got going on? I'm sure there's a lot. Like I said, I brought a book, but you don't want to just see me reading up here. The more likely than not, you'll just probably skip through the video and, you know, see where the things are happening. Or just be like, oh, he's still jumping, oh, he's still jumping. And then just me going, and then how did I start this video? I hope I started it strong enough to like retain people, because I feel like I'm being at least kind of funny and entertaining. I don't know. Maybe the reason I bring that up is just because everything that comes to my mind is coming out of my mouth right now. The body activity removed any filters. There's no like, let me stop and think about this while I'm like, boom. How am I doing on time? Ooh, we've done 20 minutes almost. That's not bad. I think I can do this. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna get cocky. What's on TV? Is this Wipeout? I like Wipeout. I just saw the character for Death. I don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, it's totally Wipeout. Is that John Cena? He just fell on John Cena. Is this like Celebrity Wipeout? I don't... I've never heard of that. I need to like crack my toes, but I can't. Obviously, I can't like stop them and pop them, you know what I'm saying? I don't even know what time it is, but it's like the sun's starting to set, which is pretty surprising because I think it's like 4:20. There's some pretty neighborhoods out there. I've never been to Taiwan before. I've only been to East Asia once. Maybe just, no, I went to Japan once. So, okay, I've been to Asia twice. Japan and Hong Kong. So never like mainland China, and now I'm in Taiwan, so it's like never like mainland China before, which will be beautiful and interesting, and I'm sure I will go and love to go because I will have the language ability under my belt and like cultural knowledge and whatever else. That'd be cool. But Taiwan's cool so far. I mean, I took a 16-hour flight. I landed, went through all the things, and got on a 4-hour taxi to come down here. So I haven't really seen it much yet. I'm gonna drink more water. My calves are starting to feel kind of burny. Okay. There we go. Okay. Let's get esoteric. Society nowadays is interesting, don't you think? It's like, I was thinking about what I was doing right now and thinking about how I'm just like, yeah, I just want to exercise and provide something funny for people, as well as like, yeah, just do something cool and different and whatever. And I was thinking about if I was like, oh, I just baby barfed. Ooh. Maybe things will get really interesting. Maybe stick around long enough. Sorry, I'm trying to like get it out of my nose. Nasty, I know. There's a trash can there, so it would be possible for me to vomit and keep jumping. So that would be interesting. I commit on things too hard, so I probably would, to be honest. My friends and family, I'd show them and they'd be like, why? Point is though, so we live in like an interesting time, right? Where it's like, if I was a Twitch streamer or someone, I could do this like for charity, you know? Or if I had like more viewers or something. It'd be really interesting because it's like, you know, on paper, I'm doing something like super just random and odd and like different, you know? But then it's like you're doing something really good, like with it and about it. It's kind of like, I mean, there's a lot of people like that on online nowadays, where it's like, yeah, I don't know. This isn't a real thing, but like walking around the block 200,000 times for charity, and it's like every time I walk around the block, I donate like $1, and then they just keep walking, and they keep walking, and it's like people are watching on stream or a video, and they're like, oh my god, they're at like 120,000, and like that's awesome, you know? It's great. Doing that, everyone's benefiting. People are entertained. They're doing that for charity. They're getting viewers and whatever. So it's like an interesting mutualistic relationship, you know. So I guess it's almost kind of like right now. It's like, okay, I'm getting exercise. Maybe I'm getting some viewers. Maybe you're entertained. That's good. Everyone's benefiting. Worst case scenario, I jumped around for an hour and I got some workout in, you know, and had fun doing it. Because I am, so far. Oh, I'm not at the halfway mark yet. I'm hopping on one foot for a second. There we go, okay. Give each leg a rest. Oh, when I hop on one foot, it feels kind of weird. I don't know how this is gonna go. When I stop, it's gonna be like, ooh. I'll probably make like a highlights video for this, and it'll be like cuts of like, this is fine, this is not fine, this is not fine, and then afterward I'm like, is the worst case scenario, but also whatever. It's kind of hard to think. It's kind of hard to think while you're doing this, which makes sense. I'm only just now getting that like vomit taste out of my mouth. We can talk about me more. What was I gonna say? Oh, my legs are starting to feel it. God, I should not have gotten overconfident. Why did I do that? I'm 22, and you know, I just swore. I love my life. It's great. It's kind of just a random thing to say, but it's true. Because So like I said, it's hard to think, and I'm just saying random things that come to my mind. I had a good childhood, had an amazing family, awesome friends, great college, great college experience. I mean, less so on the college experience because of COVID and all that nonsense, but I always say that for me, and this is true for you and for anyone, so, there we go. If, like, with COVID happening, it was, like, really terrible, and the whole time I was like, man, I just want to be back at school, because I was not able to be at school for, like, 2 years. And my brother was like, I want to be back at work, and he got, like, let go of his job and whatever. But for all of us, it's like, my parents weren't working anymore at the moment either, and whatever, so it's like, man, this sucks. But then we all look back on it now, and we're like, wow, we had some amazing times then. I'm not going to say it was an amazing thing, and it was great that it happened, but, like, the four of us, my family, were all back together in our house again. And because of their busy schedules, and my brother being older and off working, and me being at school, and that never happens, So the fact that we had, like, months, and months of us being able to be together in one place, hanging out, like, and the world was shut down, so it was like, family time. Couldn't even really see friends. So it was just like, we just all got to bond even more, like, obviously I'm so close to my family, but after that I feel like we're even closer, because, like, yeah, we just got to hang out, spend so much quality time together. My brother and I, for a while, early COVID, all we would do, we wake up, whenever that happens to be, because obviously there's nothing to get up for, we would basically drive to, what is up with this guy? Drive to Starbucks, because they had a drive-through, which was, like, the safe way to get food and drink. And the drive-through, people have probably a similar idea, had such a long line, like an hour wait, like, every day. But we waited in it, because what else were we doing? So we got to leave the house, got to go on a short drive, because, like, you only drive if you were going somewhere. Otherwise, cops would actually pull you over or be like, what are you doing? And yeah, we would get to talk, sit in the car for like an hour with the windows down, listen to music, get our stuff, and drive home. Or before parks closed down, we were able to, like, go to a park where no one was and just get to relax a bit there. We played a lot of disc golf for a little bit until they shut down the parks. Then we started finding fields that were open so we could just play frisbee, and that was fun. So we just Starbucks drive through, play a lot of frisbee, and then we'd come home and we would play Skyrim together, more or less, and Rocket League. And not even the biggest gamer, but, like, I definitely enjoy games, and I do it with my friends or my brother and stuff like that sometimes, or for, like, a video or something. But we had so much fun doing that. It was just like, it was almost how I feel about quarantine right now, or it actually gets very much so. It's like, people are like, oh my god, you got quarantined for a week, that sucks. And obviously, yeah, I mean, like, I'm a bit bored, whatever, but at the same time, it's like, okay, take it for what it is. How often do I get to be stuck in a room for a week? The answer is never, which is cool. That's a different experience. And so for me, I really wish that I could have stayed at college, finished my sophomore year, got my whole junior year. I got senior year, but it was just like, it was so disjointed that it didn't feel normal or, like, as good, A lot of my friends graduated and they had, like, left. Sorry, I'm cracking my toes. So I lost a lot of friends, honestly, through that, like, friendships that were kind of just burgeoning, where we lost contact because they graduated during COVID and whatever. So, like, definitely some tragedies for sure. But, I mean, obviously all the death, all the sickness, horrible. I feel like that goes without saying, though. I mean, like, 100%, that's terrible. COVID was bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm just talking about, like, on, like, personal notes within one's life. And for people, they had friends and family who got sick, and that was terrible too. But I was fortunate enough to avoid that. So talking about my personal experience as far as the specifics right now we're talking about is college and versus not getting that. Just, like, in terms of that, that aspect of it. And it's like, man, I really wish I could have done that. But at the same time, I became friends with other people who I'm admittedly not really friends with anymore because things happen, but, like, I dated this girl for, like, most of that period. We're no longer dating, but, like, same situation, it's like, I'm not sure we ever would have dated had it not been that situation, just because we, you know, kind of met during, or like right before it, and then became close during it, and then stayed really close throughout it. It was either like, okay, I can go back home, which is far away from my school, or go back to school where no one was, or I could like live with her and her family in the same state as my school and just hang out. So I did that. I had to live in like a rural town in the middle of nowhere, which I've never done, for like 4 months straight. And I became close to her family. Again, we're not close anymore necessarily or whatever, but that's just cool. Like, it's just cool and interesting that like I got that experience under my belt. You know, I've never lived personally. I never got to. I never probably would live somewhere like so rural and so just like that, you know. And everyone's driving pickups and they love their beer and whatever. And I got to experience that and be a part of that kind of. So that was neat. And in a sense, what I'm trying to say, that and so poorly because I'm busy jumping, is that experiences, you know, like there's no such thing in a way. I mean, like, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, like better experience, but also just everything's an opportunity cost. And that's why people say you should never have regrets or on regrets, is because maybe you'll do something and realize, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Like if you're dating someone or something and you're like, wow, that didn't work out. Maybe I should have just been doing something else with my time. But did you have fun with that person while you were with them? And you didn't know it wasn't going to work out. So why would you regret that you made the right decision for yourself based upon the information available to you at that moment in your life at that time? That's, you know, where I'm going with this. So it's like, yeah, COVID came with a lot of negativity, a whole lot of negativity, but also opportunity in a way, because it's like, I wish I could have been doing X, Y, and Z, but instead, I got to do these things I never would have done. Like, when in the middle of my college would I have suddenly moved back home, my whole family for a long time, gotten close to my friends from back home, like again, and gotten to have like a temporary relationship where I explored a lot of the west half of America and got to live somewhere unique and different, you know? That's all such a memorable, important experience that I wouldn't trade for anything. So if COVID had never happened and I had just been like living my normal life, I'm sure I would have had an amazing time, met amazing people, maybe dated someone else, maybe done all kinds of different things and all that stuff. But it didn't happen, and instead I had these other experiences that I'm so grateful for, you know? So you just make the best decision for yourself at that time. Like, kind of like me, I'm almost like, wow, am I talking too much? It's like, what else can I do but talk, you know? You're just, anyway, I'm like moving to Taiwan for a year. Like, wow. And that's awesome. I'm so excited. And I'm here now, but it's like not really quite started yet in a way. But at the same time, I've had moments where I've been like, I haven't been worried about moving across like the world, which is, you know, I mean, that could be scary, but I'm not scared. But I've had thoughts of like, it's a year of my life, and that's a long time. A year is a really long time. And it's like, wow, like, am I giving up things to be here, you know, and like missing time with family and friends? And the answer is yes, obviously. Let's be honest, yes. But is that worth it, you know? Or that's actually not the right question. Not is that worth it. The answer is yes. It's a different thing. It's more like, but I'm also gaining something else. Life is about choices. It's all a series of choices. I would have also got more time with my family and friends if I never went away to college or something, but why would you do that? Like, it is my life, you know, that's important. My, you know, existence, my journey, my growth, whatever, and yours, or whoever's. So it's like, take those opportunities where they are, and yeah, you can weigh them, cost benefit, whatever, but be honest with the easy thing might not always be the best thing too. It's like, in a hypothetical world, not that I was ever even considering this, if I had decided to stay with my friends and family instead of going to Taiwan, man, I'm sure I would have regretted that. And you should still have no regrets. I'm sure there'll be other things in the situation, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, probably should have done that, you know? It would be easier for everyone, for anyone to, like, I can live in this hotel room. I have a bathroom, a shower, well, that's not a necessity. I have a bathroom, water delivered, food delivered. That's it. I got a bed, I got a view, I got air, air conditioning, whatever, and I have my laptop and my Switch and books and whatever, I could stay here forever. I literally could. Vitamin D, sunlight from the window, water, food, etc. Entertainment, sure. And I would be able to do that. And the years would probably start to fly by, and I could probably do that until I die. But there's a whole world out there. What would I be sacrificing by doing that? You know? Like, it's obviously an extreme example. It's more about usually people living in the same town or place with their family and friends, and I have a lot of respect and sympathy for the idea and the fact that financial burdens, because you know I've experienced that, and like obligations, or just there's always factors contributing to why someone can't do something. Like my friend was like, I want to move to Texas. I was like, great. Well, I haven't done that. And he's like, I have the money to. I was like, okay, that's fair. So he needs to get the money first, and then he'll do that. But obviously I respect that it's not just like, oh, move to Texas. Like, he kind of can't. But you know, hopefully he continues to work hard and do whatever he can and make that happen for himself. I really hope he does. But like, he could also just say screw it and decide to stay in the town. And he's with his girlfriend right now. He's been with for like 5 years, and they are probably about to break up. He's probably about to break up with her, and I've been encouraging him to, because he's made it so clear that he wants to. Like, he said that. I'm not like guessing. But he's just kind of like, we've just been together for so long. It's just so convenient. It's just so easy. But you shouldn't stay with someone for that reason, you know? You stay with them because every day you wake up and you're like, I want to be with them. And I want to be doing this. I want to be here. I want to be friends with this person. I want to be living in this place. Not because you're already there, you know? It's like when young couples talk about someday or whatever, like, or even just people, they're like, oh, we're going to be friends forever. And it's like, you make that bond, like, contract, and you feel like you have to, not bond, but binding contract, you feel like you have to keep that. Versus you meet someone, your friend, you're like, okay, we're friends. And you continue to be their friend because they're cool. And then maybe you continue to be their friend because they're cool forever. And it's like, wow, we were friends forever. That's amazing. But not because you like promised that to someone. It's the same thing with all type of stuff, you know? It's like every day. Wow, I didn't expect this jump session to be so philosophical, but I guess what else do you talk about when you're jumping for an hour? And there's no one around, so I can't hold the conversation. I can just kind of wax poetic. Yeah. There's just some random kind of life advice. I know I'm young, obviously, but I don't know. I've kept my eyes open and listened to people and pay attention, so hopefully I have some kind of knowledge or wisdom to share. Maybe you got something out of that, so let's check the time. Oh, 22 minutes left. See, that took a while. That's great. It took almost 20 minutes. What am I gonna do for the last 20 minutes? I'll make this noise. I'm not gonna do that. I would get a complaint. They'd be like, okay, there's been 40 minutes of pounding on the roof and 20 minutes of a noise coming out of this room. So like, quarantine doesn't mean piss off your neighbors. The time difference is funny. The time difference from here to America is anywhere between 12 hours to 15 hours. So right now it's like 5 p.m. It could be 5 a.m. back home, or like 2 a.m. So it's really funny because everyone's like last night my friend texted, I was already asleep, he texted me at midnight. For me, he was like, good night, and I did the math and I was like, oh, he just woke up. It was like 9 a.m. for him. Thought that was funny. Man, see, it's like I got big topics that I can just talk about for a long time, like life. Mommy made me mash my M&Ms. Mommy made me mash my M&Ms. I'll do vocal warm-ups for 20 minutes. That won't be harder because I'm jumping around or whatever. What am I excited for this year? What are goals? Is the cognitive dissonance funny of like me jumping around, looking like a complete fool, but then like talking about deep things? Is that, yeah, probably. Anyway, I want to hopefully become fluent in Chinese. My Chinese is already decent, but I want to work to, you know, make Taiwanese friends and talk with my coworkers in their language and just practice listening and speaking and reading and writing and just get hopefully pretty much near fluent, because that would be great to have that unlocked access to another culture, you know, where you can walk around and talk to people who you can read their books and their signs. That's just cool, you know. And it's just fun, interesting, different, and like getting to have all those experiences. Like I said, it's never a bad thing. Knowing Chinese or knowing a different language is never a bad thing for you. And also, I studied, my minor was Chinese and my major was environmental studies. So those things kind of go hand in hand. This is the answer I gave on the Fulbright application or interview, where they're like, if you get this grant, what would you do afterward? And I was like, great question. This is kind of BS, but kind of real. Like, I would hopefully return to America and work in some, you know, government position or nonprofit or something where I have the ability to foster cooperative, like, development and just cooperation between the governments of America and China, to be able to, so I'll be fluent with English and Chinese, to be able to help develop and foster a good relationship moving forward, a cooperative one where we can be more sustainable, because we are more or less the two biggest players on the world stage. Two biggest players on the world stage in terms of a lot, but in terms of pollution and how much we can control of that, you know? So right now is such a pivotal moment. Some say it might be too late. You know, lots say it might be too late, and it really might be too late, but at the same time, it doesn't mean we shouldn't try, you know? Doesn't mean we shouldn't try. So I think that my life, you know, it'd be great to be able to dedicate myself, or just give something to the cause of fighting for the planet and the, you know, posterity of our species. So hopefully by being able to bridge that, like, language and cultural barrier, I would be able to help out and help, you know, the future with how we handle these things. Anyway, that's me. What about you? It's like Dora, you know, so I'll be like, what about you? Great! But like, you gotta say something. You gotta be like, I know you didn't say anything. Let me hear it. What do you want to do with your life? Really? Wow, that's amazing. You should. But then it's the funny thing, if you said nothing, or said something sarcastic or mean, and then I say that, then you're just, you know, you're just abusing me. So I'm just a little talking head pixel on your screen, and you're being mean to me. Does that make you feel big? You know what? Take my booty. Oh. Bouncing twerk. Ain't never seen that one. Even though it's kind of how you twerk. I'll have to go to the bathroom when I get done with this. I will. I just will. Number two. I got like 20 minutes left. It's kind of come. Ooh. What do I got? 1634. These poopies will not get the best of me. I'll just start like hitting this ceiling. Oh my god. I'm still bouncing. You saw that. I was still bouncing. I did not stop hopping. Never stop hopping. I'll show a replay in the corner right here. Look at that. I'm still hopping. I would not lie about that. Whew. I don't lie. I don't cheat. You know, I'm not gonna cut this. I'm not gonna do whatever. I am jumping. And my biggest fear is that in 16 minutes, I'm gonna round that camera and I'm gonna see that it's not recording. And I'll be like, wow. Yeah, I will have gotten a lot of exercise in. That's cool. But then it's like, wow, I was just talking to you like a crazy person. I didn't even have a recording. I wasn't even doing anything. Oh. Not that you need something to be recorded to be doing it, but I'm saying, like, the purpose of this is to make a video. So I'll be a little foolish otherwise. Or I'd probably be tempted to do it again. It's probably the worst part. So I'd give myself a break or do it tomorrow and be like, okay, we're re-attacking this now. Oh man. I would drink more water, but when I drank a lot that one time, I had a big baby barf. So I'm like, wow, you know what? I might hold off on that. Is John Cena like a coach of Wipeout or something? Because I'm looking, these are not celebrities. I'm like, why would he be one of the Wipeout ball heads? Or are they just making a joke? Oh no, there he is. I don't know if you can see him, but apparently John Cena is one of the Wipeout guys. Whatever that means. Commentator, announcer, I don't know. He's there, he's everywhere. I actually watched some of his matches the other day. I don't watch WWE, but I learned that this is getting it graphic. There's something called blading, I think, where boxers would, or professional, not quotes, professional wrestlers. They're not really wrestling, but they are actors. They're performers for sure, and I, respect what they do in that regard actually a lot. They have these blades concealed, like little tiny shards, like a razor blade, where they get hit with like an object or punched, and then they go like to themselves and they cut their own head, because there's like, if they know where like the veins are or something, they know how to produce a lot of blood without it being a deep or serious cut. They're still losing blood, but like not like a lot, and it mixes with like the sweat and it just like runs down, and they just look just mutilated, disgusting. And I was so fascinated by this. I mean, it was terrible. And I'm glad they outlawed it or whatever. They banned it. Like Vince McMahon was like, no more. It's like the PG era now, which I support. Probably not great to see people doing that to themselves as well as just encourage people to do that. But yeah, John Cena did that to himself a bit. Not horribly, as much as other people, I think. There was one clip though of him and this guy fighting, and I think reportedly it was not bleeding, it was the chair. The guy just takes a chair to his face. And it wasn't even like the hardest hit, but it must have been a pretty hard hit, because then he does have a lot of blood coming off of his face, and it's like, wow. And it's just crazy for me to watch, like, bloody John Cena, or John Cena with, like, blading himself. And now he's such like he's like, oh, he's a Wipeout, host, and well-respected actor, and just all-around famous and like good dude. It's like, wow, why is he doing this stuff to himself? It's really interesting. I think when I was a kid, like, I knew pro wrestling was fake, but I never actually watched it, so I don't really know what that meant. I was like, okay, whatever. And you look at it, you're like, wow, this is crazy. It's cool. I mean, I honestly respect it. It's like a TV show, but it's like more real than that. But it's like, because like they have like people who are the champion, and the challengers and these matches, but they've openly said, like, on the record, that the outcomes are predetermined. Some people like refuse to believe that for some reason, but it's true. They say that, it's not like speculation, but it's still interesting. So it's like this title fight between John Cena and this guy who has like a 3-letter title. They fought in like 2004 or something for the title, and they were fighting for the title. That's the thing. They were fighting for the title, but there's no universe in which that one guy was going to win. John Cena was the predetermined winner. Like, they went in being like, your job's to lose, your job's to win, and here's how we're going to do it. And they like choreograph it and they plan it. Then they like sell it, not super well a lot of the time, but they sell it, they sell it, and they make it into like a show. But it's also not like, that's what's interesting about it, is you're watching a play and you don't think that that's actually Hamlet, running around stabbing people or just saying these things, and you're like, wow, that guy Hamlet's really interesting. And then you find out an actor, you're like, what? But with that, it's like, these people are like, it's supposed to be real. So it'd be like if you saw Hamlet, you went and saw Hamlet, and they were like, hey, we brought in the Prince of Denmark and his father and his uncle and some of their friends and their court into this theater tonight, and we're just gonna see what they do. And then you watch the show, you're like, oh my god, this is happening before my very eyes. That's what pro wrestling's like. It's like it'd be like if John Cena versus this guy was a play and it happens, versus like then, yeah, anyway. Kind of an interesting comparison I never really thought about, but it's true. It's pretty funny. But it's cool. I respect that. It's like live theater with like a more emotional investment in a way, because it's like supposed to be real, and some people think it is. And honestly, more power to you, whatever. If that brings you joy, for sure. If you're not hurting anyone, I mean, besides those wrestlers, but that's their choice. And they're not getting hurt horribly. Again, we're more in the PG era now. It's better. It'd be different if they were like messing each other up, Yeah, food groups. What's happening here? Are you watching this? Huh? Are you cheating on me? Are you watching this the entire time and not me? I hope something really weird or bad was happening over here, and I just did not. I'm over here like life, man, life or whatever, and then it's just like full frontal nudity, and I'm gonna get banned for like something happening on this TV. I'm probably gonna watch this back, but I'm paying like half attention because I don't really want to watch me jump around for an hour. After jumping around for an hour, it just feels repetitive. Also, probably just be confused. I'm like, why did I make that face? Well, I was probably tired. Like, why am I talking about that? It's like, well, I was a bit preoccupied. I'm not going to use the book at all. I'm kind of surprised. I mean, it wasn't hard, but nah, man, it'd be doable. That's how you know it's too late in this. That's how you know it's been going for too long. Okay. 8.5 minutes. I'm actually gonna do this. I can't believe it. I was sitting there and I was like, oh, what can I do right now? They're like, can I make a video of some kind? I was like, well, man, I could, but like what? Like, I wanna make something kind of fun and interesting and different, but I'm stuck in a room. Because I did do challenges, doing interesting challenges and providing something kind of fresh. And I was surprised myself when I came up with that idea, I guess. And then more surprised that I actually decided to do it. And then even more surprised it's actually gonna happen, I guess. Yeah. Oh, Nelly. One continuous take. The whole time I wanted to peek behind the camera and make sure it's still recording, but I will not. Because I want you to know that I am still jumping. And that you're not going to be like, oh, when you check the camera, you stop jumping. No. No. Or there was like a clever cut there. No. Nope. It was me. It was me jumping. In a circle, no less. Oh, reverse. Oh, it's really funny because you know how you can like jump softer? Like if I just jumped, like that was harder. And it would like make noise. Probably piss off the people below me or person below me. But I'm doing it like a soft landing, like a soft, it's like a soft, my brain's broken. I think I just said it's like a soft 7 times. Oh man, got a little bit of sweat coming out. I'm not horribly tired. I mean, if you can't tell, because I've been talking this whole time, so eat that, Muhammad Ali. But, I mean, I get it. It's not really the most tiring thing. But maybe for some people, don't discount me. I'm in decent shape. I'm not saying that to be oh, I'm in good shape, but more to be if you were to do this and get tired, don't feel bad about yourself. It's not I'm just a random, I'm in bad shape and I'm just doing this and you're wow, I'm in terrible shape. Anyway, Muhammad Ali was right, but wrong, yeah, my legs hurt, but they're gonna be okay. That's the worst thing, my legs hurt for sure. And the good news is I can do nothing but sit after this, more or less, so I will take advantage of that. I'll kick my feet up and be oh. And I hope my little feces are okay. My toes look red. It's probably just all the blood's gone to them or something. Yeah, what's happening here? Ooh. I'll read the captions. Woman, an epidemic,生病. That's why. Wow, these are quick subtitles. That means you are not able to, possibly. Okay. Okay. It thinks. Must be talking about the zombies or something. But these are so fast. Okay, well. That says August 27th on Saturday night, but, The dates and months are funny in Chinese. It's like, it's really logical and straightforward. Like they don't have names. They're not like August. Like they just call it 8 month. Or December is 12 month. Or January is 1 month, you know? Same thing with the days of the week. There's no Tuesday or Friday. It's just like one day. Like day 1 is Monday. And like day 3 is Wednesday. Sunday is day 7 or just day, like day. It's like week, day, and yeah, I mean, it's a thing. And his name is John Cena. Oh, I'm kind of reaching my limit a little bit. I feel like at first I was like, wow, is an hour too little? Should I do more? And then I was like, do I really want to commit to jumping around for like 2 hours? And then I was like, is an hour too much? Which, I don't know. Apparently not, I guess. But I'm glad I didn't do more. I would be hitting this point and be like, wow, I have to poop. And my legs hurt. It's like my whole legs. I can't even isolate the pain. Calves. Feet. Toes. Mostly the back. Like that, I guess. I don't know. Heels. It's like heels, toes, calf. Like that, you know. Wipe out. It's like Fall Guys. I love Fall Guys, by the way. Really fun game. I think it's a good time. By the way, I'm moving into a studio apartment for the first time in my life, so for this year. So I'm excited because that'll give me the opportunity to do whatever kinds of videos I want, you know, because I'm not going to jump necessarily, piss off my neighbors. But like most of anything else, I can like record and do shit, which I'm excited about because that's nice because it's not limiting. It's not like I have to like ask my roommates, hey, is it cool if I record? Or they're going to be like annoyed about it or think it's weird or it'll keep them awake or something. Or I don't have to be embarrassed. Probably the biggest thing. Be like, yeah, can I just record? And they hear me talk and it's like, awkward, you know? So it's nice that I can just have my own space. It's like this more or less. I mean, I haven't seen it, but it's a studio apartment. It's like this more or less. How are we doing on time? I'm not even gonna check because it's gonna go off soon. You better have been recording, I swear to God. You're a new phone, because my phone kind of broke before I came here. So you better be recording, man. I brought my tripod, obviously. This phone's sitting atop the tripod. I have a mic, but I don't know how to, like, ooh, you hear that fart? I'm like clenching my booty right now. My left knee hurts a bit. Come on. Why is it always, is it like mental? Like if I thought that I was doing this for 2 hours, would I feel fine right now? But I'd be like, oh, I could push through for more. But is it like the knowledge that I'm about to finish that makes me be like, I'm giving up? Psychology. Psychology, sun-dried tomatoes, sensuality, sunshine, selectivism, synonyms. Actually, not synonyms. Well, synonyms is an S word. Alliterations. Red triangle. There's a red triangle on a window. I don't know what it means. There was like a dumpster fire outside yesterday. I don't know why. It wasn't like a dumpster. It was like a big container that they lit and then they threw a bunch of things into. I was actually recording something. I looked to my left and I see ashes and I was like, I'm gonna be right back. I was like, is a building burning down? Like I was like, I can't go outside and help even if it is, I guess, but I would want to. I'd be like, yeah, I know I broke my quarantine, but like, hear me out, you know? Just trying to help with a fire. But it was not a fire, which is good. I didn't even think about the fact that it could have been this building. That would have been bad. All the quarantine escapees. They're like, why are you in quarantine? I'm like, I'm gonna burn down. You know. Is it not time yet? Is it not gonna like, I feel like it's time. 3, 2, 1. That would be great if I just nailed that. I didn't. Come on. What are you at? 47 seconds. Oh yeah. Give me the big hops now. The big celebratory hops. Yes. There you go, John Cena. I bet you couldn't do this. He totally could. He's in really good shape. I think I was saying I don't know how to hook a microphone to my phone or whatever, if I even can, but I don't think I need to. It's pretty good quality. I'm surprised by how good the quality is sometimes. Also, the important thing is not my voice right now, I guess. It's just the The fact that I'm jumping. Whoo! You actually watch this whole thing, by the way. Thank you. That was really cool of you and unnecessary. So if you did, I hope you enjoyed it, to be honest. And definitely drop a like if you like what you saw here for some reason, or subscribe if you want to see more. Not necessarily like this, but like this. The whole world feels weird. My legs are like, oh my god, it's like, they're shaking. Oh, they're shaking a bit. Here, let me get the, is it recording? Oh my god. I'm so happy. I really thought I was not gonna be recording. They're like, can you see that? I don't think you can see that. Wow, okay, well, I actually did it, which is cool. I'd like to thank my left leg and my right leg for being cool about this. They're pretty good. Again, they're shaking. You can't tell, but they're definitely shaking, and my toes definitely look a bit red. Oh, I'm on the weird zoomed out camera. Boop. Yeah, there you go. How's that? It's better? Can you tell they're shaking now? Yeah, well, that was just me twitching. Well, anyway, I was starting to sign off and say thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I don't really have any ability to give to charity right now because I don't really have a channel yet in a way. So, yeah, I mean, if you enjoyed this, just drop a like and comment. Let me know if you thought what I did was great or bad, or you got any other suggestions for fun challenges or just interesting ideas of things that I could do or things you liked or want to see. And, be sure to hit the subscribe button as well, because you can get more updates on things that I'm going to be doing up to in the future. Like this, in a sense. Not this, but like this, kind of, maybe. And, yeah, I mean, thanks for sticking with it, man. I appreciate you. And as always, stay smiling, and I'll catch you on the flippity flip. Peace out. Boo. I will also say that my underwear and shorts are soaked all the way through, and my mouth does taste like vomit, so I would not necessarily recommend trying this at home.